Good morning, everyone, and welcome to UNLV College of Education's Year in Review, a time when we look back on the impact that we've had over the 2020-2021 academic year. Thank you for all joining us today, and I want to especially thank Provost Heavey for being in attendance today. Happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers of children and pets out there. I hope you have a nice weekend. I'm grateful to have served as your interim dean during this time, and I'm incredibly proud of our work with our students and our community. This event would not have been possible without some incredible partners in my office: Shana, Nancy, Youngbuck, Mark, Gwen, Jeff, and Maria. So thank you so much. We entered the fall 2020 semester working remotely, balancing caregiving of our loved ones, having concern about the health and safety of our family, friends, and colleagues, and feeling uncertain about our future. We sustained our attention, however, on the multiple pandemics we face: the COVID-19 pandemic, systemic racism and intersectional oppression, and workforce gaps within education and mental health settings. And despite these challenges, we've remained focused on our college's mission and the equity priorities of our faculty, staff, students, and communities. Our college is more resilient and united by the collective challenges of this year. I'm particularly proud of the work we've done to increase shared governance among our faculty, staff, and students, the ways in which we have increased communications and support, and in our continued conversations around equity, anti-racism, and community engagement. Our mission is to achieve prominence locally, nationally, and internationally as a leading source of significant knowledge and innovative models to inform and affect policy and practice. This year has provided some time for us to take stock of and further support several priority areas. And these have been identified by reflecting on the commitments of and passions of our faculty and our staff, building and sustaining a diverse educator workforce, increasing access to high quality educational and mental health supports, improving access to high quality early childhood education, and progressing the conversation for educational practice and policy. The college engaged in several activities and scholarship to enhance recruitment, preparation, retention, and completion of PK-20 educators and education professionals, such as school psychologists, educational leaders, and counselors. Creating educator pathways begins in high schools, and our dual enrollment program is growing. We engaged with 12 high schools in CCSD and external charter schools to enroll 80 new students this fall, with just over 150 enrolled students in our total enrollment dual enrollment program, rather. Our college also developed several academic and professional programs: a Master of Education in Intercollegiate and Professional Sport Management, an Advanced Graduate Certificate in Qualitative Research, a Graduate Certificate in Multicultural Education, and a Graduate Certificate in English Language Acquisition and Development. Providing opportunities to foster cultural competency and social advocacy skills among Nevada educators is imperative for education equity. I'm proud of the collective work of our TNL faculty and the Center of Multicultural Education, who came together with partners from CSN, Nevada State College, community members, and the state legislature to develop and have the cultural competency endorsement for Nevada educators approved. And to meet the needs of students and changing communities, the college continues to refine and grow its online programs and course offerings to align with national best practices. I'm happy to share that our college is now ranked number 35 by the US News and World Report for its online education opportunities, rising from number 187 in 2020. The most recent data available show that about 750 students completed our programs, which includes 27 doctoral students. Our freshman retention rate continues to climb steadily over the past 3 years, with an 8-point increase to over 76%. And our first year retention rate for our master's and doctoral programs are both above 78%. In addition, we have 13 undergraduates who will graduate this spring with honors distinctions. Our 27 doctoral students have primarily taken leadership positions across 4 states as academic faculty, education leaders, and school psychologists. And you can see from the logos here where some of our graduates are, and we're certainly proud to see them represented. While there is more work to do to diversify the educator workforce, our efforts continue to close the student-teacher diversity gap. Furthermore, current student enrollments show that 51% identify as first-generation students and 61% identify as students of color. Supporting our students through scholarships and fellowships is an incredible recruitment and retention tool. We awarded 26 College of Education scholarships this year, increasing the disbursement amounts and adding new scholarship programs thanks to generous supporters of the college. Thanks to the generosity of Betty Fuller, the Dorothy Dawson Scholarship Endowment went from $50,000 to $1.4 million. In addition to college-level scholarships, 3 long-standing initiatives supported from state and private funding benefited more than 300 students this year. Specifically, the Teach Nevada Scholarship to increase the quantity and quality of effective teachers, the Rodman Scholars Program to support scholarships and graduate fellowships for students pursuing careers in special education, and NITEP that enlists promising scholars into teaching to ready them for advanced leadership and scholarship opportunities. During this year, more than $1 million supported teacher candidates and graduate fellows through these 3 initiatives. Engaging students has been helpful for retaining them and preparing them to serve in our communities. Programs such as the Home Scholars Program and Project Focus continued. In addition, we launched dissertation grants and assistantship opportunities to gain teaching and external funding experience for our students. We created opportunities to foster student engagement, including developing the Ed Exchange and the Ripple. These are publication outlets to celebrate our students, provide opportunities for service and scholarship engagement, and share their stories of the importance of a diverse educator workforce. And our faculty actively participate in preparing the next generation of educators and creating open source curricula for educators, students on Nevada's alternative diploma route, Other programs included designing lesson plans to increase student engagement in science, the implants program, training educators as teacher leaders for the next generation of English language learners, Project E3, preparing special educators to be leaders in implementing evidence-based interventions to support those with learning and behavior disabilities, Project SPENT, training special education, social work, and criminal justice students at UNLV to better serve students with disabilities, Project Praiser, and finally, and last but not least, continuing our partnership with Teach for America, providing NITEP mentors from that program. In addition to prioritizing diversifying the educator workforce, our college increased its community engagement in areas such as mental health, special education, literacy, and multilingual education with more than 45 local partnerships. To support, identify, and grow these efforts, we added an interim associate dean for student and community engagement. These partnerships that he helped facilitate with our faculty and staff often were externally funded, providing direct support and services while including credentialing opportunities for our students as well as educators and leaders within the community. In addition to curriculum development and training, our faculty delivered the inaugural Rebel Summer Series program, attracting almost 200 kids in grades 2 through 5 for the 5-week program. Our college, in partnership with the College of Liberal Arts, continues to run a successful mental health clinic, The Practice, which offers individual and group counseling, assessment services, and telemental health services with rural Nevada K-12 students and their families. As part of their training this year, our students opened a homework hotline, served as writing buddies, conducted tutoring sessions, and hosted family engagement events. This year, our students completed more than 260,000 field placement hours in school, mental health, and university settings. Our engagement with community partners extends beyond the classroom. We supported community college leaders that were transitioning after changes in remediation policies, provided district-wide implicit bias training with educators and school administrators, and directed multiple evaluation projects to evaluate PK-12 outcomes throughout the state. And you can see some of our partners that we partnered with locally, regionally, and nationally here. Our college continues to advance conversations in education and mental health toward the next best practices. We boast 14 institutes, centers, labs, and offices with 20 faculty members serving in directorship roles and supporting 8 postdoctoral fellows. These centers, labs, and offices reported more than $3.1 million in grant and contract funding this year. Our recently reactivated Center of Multicultural Education offered critical professional development in a lit learning series that engaged with more than 4,000 individuals. We published the 4th volume of Policy Issues in Nevada Education to help inform conversations in education and wraparound supports at the state level. And we launched the Scholarship and Practice Lecture Series, a national forum to discuss critical issues and propose concrete solutions on topics related to PK-20 education and mental health. In December, we hosted our 6th annual Summit on Nevada Education with the following theme: community, equity, and culture, informing PK-16 education, practice, and policy. And this spring, the Office of Research and Sponsored Projects began publishing a new e-magazine to highlight the community impact of COE research. In March, the National Institute for the Advancement of Education was approved by the Board of Regents. The Institute will focus on educator prep to reinvent education and wraparound services in PK-20 and other relevant community contexts. It will emphasize culturally responsive learning among practitioners, students, policymakers, and those they serve. And it'll support community school initiatives and wraparound services for youth and their families. Our faculty also progress the conversation through their academic engagement at national and international levels. Faculty served as editors or associate editors for at least 15 national peer-reviewed journals. In 2020 alone, our faculty generated 150 scholarly products, which included 8 books, 57 journal articles, and 51 presentations. And we submitted $42.4 million in grant submissions and received just under $6 million in awards that included $3.4 million in expenditures. In addition, 22 of our faculty were engaged in external funding activities for the first time since joining the college. To support faculty seek external funding in areas that also prioritize equity work, we allocated more than $60,000 in seed funding for my office, Looking ahead, we're looking forward to the fall semester with several projects underway in our priority areas. In our priority area of building and sustaining a diverse educator workforce, our departments, T&L and EMS, are working in partnership to roll out a fast-track pipeline initiative referred to as a Paraprofessional Pathway Project. This initiative will provide financial support for up to 100 paraprofessionals who hold an associate degree to complete requirements to serve as a licensed Nevada educator. The CSH department is collaborating with Nevada Department of Education to increase the pipeline of school counselors and school psychologists, particularly for supporting multilingual students in our schools. Our college will roll out a mini campaign to generate funds to support educator pathways. First, we will seek to bolster our current funds for cross-the-finish grants, or scholarships that support the progression of educator candidates and human services students who are close to graduating yet have financial barriers to finish their degree. Second, we are establishing a mechanism for individuals within our community to support high school students who are interested in dual enrollment courses in education. The All-In Urban Residency Program, which is a signature program affiliated with the National Institute for Advancement of Education, will welcome its first cohort of 12 ARL candidates and support 6 mentor teachers achieve a graduate endorsement. And the Home Scholars Program, a mentorship and professional development program for doctoral students of color interested in entering academia, will expand from 3 to 7 scholars this fall, and we will increase the support package for these students. In our priority area of access to high quality educational and mental health supports, 2 summer learning opportunities for elementary students are on the horizon. First, we will offer the 2nd annual Rebel Summer Series. Second, through the All-In Urban Residency Program through the Institute, our ARL candidates will offer a Summer Leadership Academy beginning in summer 2022 for students at Paradise Elementary. In partnership with the City of Las Vegas, CCSD, the Schools of Medicine and Dental Medicine, and the Colleges of Nursing and Liberal Arts, the college prepares to implement an after-school academy with wraparound community sports for 2 elementary schools within the Ward 1 district. We are developing an Office of Youth Rights and Educational Justice, which will identify through research and advocate through direct legal education and clinical services for children and youth involved in the justice system. And we continue to explore plans to expand the services of the practice, including the potential of transitioning and or offering services to communities and schools in downtown Las Vegas. In the priority area of improving access to high quality early childhood education, we are exploring ways to increase access to high quality early childhood education for children in Southern Nevada. Continuing our work from this academic year, we seek a physical expansion of space to make this access possible. And we are reinvesting development dollars to support faculty research in early childhood education. The Institute, in addition to the work of the centers, labs, and offices, hold great promise to further advance education and mental health through grants, scholarship, and service activities. And we will continue the initiatives began this year to allow further community engagement as we discuss the critical issues in education and mental health post-pandemic. Success in these priority areas will take all of us working as a team. We're also building our own workforce in the College of Education with up to 10 searches for full-time faculty positions in areas such as special education, early childhood education, first year, second year seminar, educational leadership, and teacher education. And lastly, we continue our work to improve equity and climate within the college, transforming the work of a year-long data collection period towards implementation of action items to support faculty, staff, and students. I'm so proud of the year we've had together and the year we will collectively create.